Okay, so there's a lot to unpack from this race. First of all, on lap 14, there was a crash that took out about 14 to 15 cars, and a lot of competitive cars were involved in this crash, which led to the rest of the race, except for the final one or two laps, kind of being a single file train run, just because of how everyone was scared of getting into another wreck, which would likely take out a bunch more competitive cars, and also them wanting to preserve their race and having the best shot at the win. And also probably because of the lack of competitive cars, that means there wouldn't be enough fast cars to create a second lane so they could get that going. For the first 14 laps, the racing was pretty good in my eyes. There was not a lot of single files, mostly like two rows going at it. And then once Christopher Bell got that bump from Kyle Busch, he got a big run and he ran into Almirola, and then Almirola just set off a chain reaction, wrecked the field. After that, there wasn't a lot of cautions. I think Quinn Hoff lost a tire because William Byron's car was like shedding pieces. I don't really remember what else except for like that final lap crash in which Michael McDowell, of all people, came out and won the Daytona 500 because these two right here, these two Penske teammates, I think it was kind of like this. I was probably McDowell or somebody else up on the top here. Let me get a better view. Joey came down to block, and then Keselowski he just had a huge run going, and I just, kind of screwed them up like that. Then Michael McDowell just came out of nowhere to win. I thought it was going to be Chase Elliott for a few seconds, but then NASCAR looked back at the footage and saw that it was McDowell who was ahead at the time of their caution being thrown, which is still hard to believe that Michael McDowell won the Daytona 500. And this also means that he will be in the playoffs as long as he is in the top 30 in points, which I think last year he finished 23rd in points. He'll be in the playoffs. So first playoffs for Michael McDowell, and he'll probably be finishing 16th in the final point standings. Granted, no random hot streaks happen like Austin Dillon last year, although I'm not so sure it was just a hot streak and just that the team was turning it up for the playoffs. I don't know. Nonetheless, I expect Michael McDowell to be first round cannon fodder, which it's gonna make the battle for the last couple of playoff spots really, really tight with Matt DiBenedetto, Bubba Wallace, Cole Custer, Chase Briscoe, just to name a few of the guys who are going to be gunning for those spots, while the rest of the more household name drivers are going to, be locked in usually with a couple wins. Maybe this will be a rather a field with a lot of parity. Maybe it won't. Who knows? I prefer we don't have another 2020 where it's two drivers that have almost half the wins, or two drivers that win almost half the races in that year. I prefer if we have more parity. But I mean, you never know with NASCAR. That's the beauty of it. So yeah, the race, the Daytona 500 itself, it was kind of crap except for about 15 laps, the first 14 laps, and then the last lap. That's about 15 laps of, I'd say, good racing. There was some strategy at the end with the three Toyotas going and pitting together to try and get Denny Hamlin that second Daytona 500, and then because they didn't pit with either the Fords or the Chevys, they couldn't, break up that line, and so they got shuffled all the way to the back, and that's probably why Denny Hamlin didn't win the Daytona 500. He honestly had a very strong case going for 3 in a row, but just because of, kind of not having enough cars to draft off of and make the pit crews making mistakes and just attrition. That's why they didn't win the Daytona 500. That's all I'll be talking about for today. I have some more topics to discuss in videos later today, so be sure to look out for those. Thank you for watching.